Hi, welcome back to Imagine Your Odyssey, and today I wanted to talk about your tires. Specifically to how are you going to change your tire and if you have those problems on the side of the road as you're on your trip. The key piece to that is being prepared to make sure you have the right tools. So in this case, I have a tire iron, I have an extension, and I have a jack. Now this jack came out of my truck. I have a 1-ton truck that I tow our rig with, and it works just perfect. I can take the jack and stick this part right underneath the axle and lift the axle up and get to my tire easily. The reason I say that you need to be prepared is because most RVs do not come with the proper tools that you need in order to get the tire off and to change it out with the spare. Now the spare on ours happens to be on the back of ours, and a lot of those out there may have some underneath of the camper or other places, but the spare is there to help you in case you have a problem with yours. So in this case, what I'm going to do is take my jack and put it up underneath the axle, lift it up, take the lugs off, swap it out with the spare, and put everything in the truck and put it back. Now as I'm talking about being prepared, what I mean is having the proper tools. The proper tools mean that the proper things that you need in order to be able to lift the tire off of the ground and to be able to loosen the lug nuts so that you can get the tire off. As I said earlier in the video, I have a tire iron. Now my lugs on mine are 3/4 of an inch. That means that you need to have something that will be able to remove those lugs. Now you can get yourself what they call a 4-way. It looks like a plus sign with 4 different lug sizes on it. That is actually something that you should really get yourself, because not only will it fit your camper, but it will probably fit your tow vehicle as well, just in case you have a tire problem there as well. Now looking underneath, I'm going to look for the axle right here. I'm going to take my jack and I'm going to set the jack underneath of it, and I'm going to lift it up to push up the axle. Like I said before, this jack came out from my truck, and my truck is a 1-ton truck. That means that this jack is more than capable of putting up this axle in order to get this tire up off of the ground so that I can take it off. Some pre-trip inspections. Those are things that you can look for before you leave to make sure that everything is safe. So a couple of things that I like to do on mine is, 1, check the air pressure. That's the easiest thing to do out of all of them. Check the air pressure to make sure that the air pressure is where it needs to be based off of the recommendations on the side of the tire itself. Another thing to check is the lug nuts, to make sure that the lug nuts are nice and tight. If they're loose, then going down the road, they're going to do nothing but get looser and looser and looser until, well, possibly your rim or your tire falls off the camper, and we don't want that to happen. And then one last thing that you can do is check the tire itself. Check the surface of the tire, the top and the sides, to make sure that there is no bubbling of the tire. What I mean by bubbling of the tire is that the side walls of the tire and the top don't have any protrusions, meaning that the side of it looks like there's a big bubble sticking out, which means that the tire is starting to fail, and that bubble itself could blow and create a big hole in the side of the tire, which will give you an instant flat. So as we talk about the spare tire, this is something else that you should check on your pre-trip checks. Make sure that your spare tire has plenty of air in it and that it can hold air, and all the nuts and bolts on it are tight as well. So you want to make sure that your spare tire is with you when you get to wherever you need, if you need it. And you want to make sure that the spare tire is viable use, meaning that it can be used if you have a flat and be able to get you to where you need to go next. If you have other ideas or suggestions on how you would replace your tire while you're on the road, leave that in the comments down below so that all of us can have something to learn by. Also, if you're looking for a 4-way, I'll leave a link down in the description below so that you can get to one for yourself. And as always, keep it safe out there, watch your tires, and until the next time, God bless.